Hello, America, and welcome back to another episode of the Hear Me Tell It, the life and times of Jerry Daniels. When you've had your daily dose of today's craziness, dealing with all them Karens out there, ride shotgun with old JD as he goes back and recounts the life and times of growing up in the South during the 60s and 70s. I believe we were called baby boomers. Stories that you will say, yep, I done that, but I ain't gonna tell my kids. And I ain't never told my spouse. But whatever the truth be, it will be this, to hear me tell it. Well, good morning, folks. I'm late. I'm sorry. Good morning to another episode of To Hear Me Tell It. I'm sorry. Man, I got way behind. I just found something in my pocket. Forgot that was there. I got way behind, and you're probably going, what did you find in your pocket? That's what I would ask. But and I'll get to it in a minute. But, man, it's been a busy, and it's self-induced, my fault, and my wife's fault. Damn sure my wife's fault. I asked Laura, I said, are you pregnant? She's like, are you crazy? I'm like, well, damn, man. I said, what's all this nesting stuff going on, man? She's into this, again, declutter, change this, fix that. You know, I learned my lesson because she said, we want to, I want to redo all the bathroom cabinets in the master bathroom. I said, okay, begrudgingly. I procrastinate on purpose, hoping that maybe it'll just be a thing and she'll forget it. Well, that didn't work. So we ended up doing it. And I don't like painting. And I damn sure don't like sanding and then priming and then sanding and then painting and then all that. I don't like that. I can do it, and I'm pretty damn good at it. I just don't like it. But we did it. So then, you know, we ended up basically remodeling the whole damn thing, got a new shower and all that stuff, and hired a contractor, and anyway. And I'm going to talk about this during this episode here about hiring contractors. I've got the worst history of picking the worst contractors in the world. I don't know why. Jeff Potter says I do a lot of things good, but I don't pick contractors well. I don't know what that is about. I don't care if it's a roofing contractor. I don't care if it's damn floor, whatever. Now, I got a good plumber. I'm going to put a plug in for Heritage Plumbing in Talking Rock, Georgia. Tommy Phillips is a fine man, and he's got a fine company. He's a good plumber. If you never need a plumber who's honest, who's competent, that's the biggest thing, the competency. But he's honest, and he's competent. He's a good man. He's a godly man. And he's got a plumber named on his team named Victor. Victor is awesome. They do great work, and it's nice to have. It's like having a good barber. You got to have a good plumber, and that would be Tommy and his crew. They're good folks. I really, really thank God for knowing Tommy and being able to have him as a reliable, trustworthy asset with regards to needing some plumbing work done. So he's done a lot of work for us at the house, and he's a good plumber. So, so it's been a busy week, y'all. I'm like way behind and out of time and all that kind of stuff. But Laura pressed me on the remodeling the kitchen, and and that consisted of, well, you know, we interviewed several different contractors. We went with one, and I wanted to keep it local because we like to shop local, be local, you know, put our money back into our community, that type of stuff. And and Laura always tells me, she goes, you don't focus on the good stuff. I don't know. You're right, I don't. But I should. Here's the end result. I'm happy with the end result of the painting of the cabinets. And that's what we did. We just basically did the kitchen cabinets, which consisted of somebody else coming in our house, taking all the drawers out, taking all the doors off, and we're talking a shitload of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, damn near 30. So talking 30 is over 30. Over 30 cabinet doors, raised panel cabinet doors, and drawers and all that. Over 30. and again, it consisted of cleaning, sanding, priming, sanding, and then painting. And the prime obviously is a oil-based primer. So I hired somebody else to do it, and I knew I had made I can't say I made a mistake. I mean, the end result is the cabinets look okay. They're not perfect. They look okay. I'm satisfied. Let's just leave it at that. I'm content. Laura's like, "Oh, it looks like." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." But it shouldn't be just a collage of, as the contractor put it, I'm sorry for the hiccups. Like I told her when we hired her, I said, "Listen, man, I don't need the what do you call it? The junior varsity, the minor league guys. I need the A team. I don't need amateurs. I need people to know what they're doing." And I knew that it was going to be a rough road to hoe when the feller that was outside starting the sanding was just on his hands and knees, and our cabinet panels were laying in the grass, and he was just on his hands and knees. And I'm like, "You're kidding me." So I got sawhorses out and built him a work surface out there in the backyard so he could like put my damn panels on something. And then it was just one thing after another. Didn't have those little, I've got a whole kit of these little things that you can wrap sandpaper around to help you get in the grooves. That way you ain't bending the sandpaper and trying to, that's not the way to do it. There's tools. You got to have tools. If you're going to do a job, you got to have damn tools. It didn't have that, so I gave him that. And then I watched him fiddle fart with the damn, trying to get the air hose from the compressor hooked up to the spray gun. And he didn't have the right fitting. And after 30 minutes of watching him fiddle fart and do this and this and this and this, I went in the garage and got the right nipple that he needed for the quick disconnect coupling on it. And I said, I think you need this one. So, and I ain't seen, they left, they took that. I ain't seen it since. And then I in my head, I didn't tell him, I thought, well, the little old pancake compressor, that ain't enough compressor to push no damn oilless, oil-based primer. Well, that didn't work. And they built this big, massive tent. Basically, they enclosed the kitchen. They built a tent. And we're doing all the sanding and vacuuming in there to keep the dust in there. And I told him, I said, "Hey, man, when you do all that shit, you got to unplug my refrigerator because I don't want my fan motor underneath my refrigerator, which blows, air across the condensing coils and to cool the compressor. I don't want any of that dust under my refrigerator, and I damn sure don't want that oil-based primer or paint going under my refrigerator either." So they remembered to do that. They weren't too good at plugging the refrigerator back in, but they remembered to unplug it. And so they create this big tent in there, and then when it comes time for them to finally start spraying the primer, after about, 30 minutes, we can't breathe in the house. And I told Laura, I said, "This is insane." So I go downstairs, and I could hear one feller telling the other feller he couldn't breathe. And I stopped them. And they were in a tent. Let me look up here. I'm looking over there. They were in a tent completely enclosed with no ventilation. None. No fresh air coming in, no bad air going out. They have no supply, no exhaust, nothing. And I shut off the house AC. I opened up all the damn windows. I stopped them. I got a little fan, a little house fan, and I'd cut a hole in the bottom of their tent, put it down at the bottom, and I had all the windows open at the house. So I was drawing fresh air in. I crawled in the hole. I went in the tent. I was already physically sick, and I do. I'm very sensitive to fumes and vapors. I was already physically sick, smelling that shit. I don't know how they were doing it. They had no respirators, nothing. Holding a T-shirt over his face or some shit. I told him, I said, dude, you gotta open my kitchen window. You gotta cut your little tent hole, and you gotta fold all that shit outside, retape all this so you don't get primer all over my window ledges and stuff. And then I stood a ladder outside the window, and then I rigged up a 24-inch turbo fan sucking air out of the kitchen. Once we got it all rigged up and stuff and running, the fumes were out of the house. I say fumes, vapors. The vapors were out of the house within 30 minutes. Because the house was the proper volume of air exchange was taking place. And all the fresh air was coming in the windows of the house, going through the fan. The fan was, and it, boom. And anyway, and then they busted a water pipe in the kitchen. They shoved a ladder into the little pocket where the water line is for the refrigerator ice maker, broke that off, sheared it off, so you couldn't turn it off right there. They broke the pipe. So got a flood underway in the kitchen. I'm under the house. I turn off the main. We got to call a plumber. It's just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. It was painful, y'all. It was painful. And we were displaced. When you do this, you got to get 100% everything out of your damn kitchen. Just imagine right now if you used to go to your kitchen and go, we got to take 100% of everything out of this kitchen and put it somewhere. So we did that we started on a Wednesday moving the stuff. They showed up Thursday last week. and was it last week? What's the day? Saturday? Anyway, they showed it. Yeah, Thursday last week. So they showed up Thursday. So we moved everything on Wednesday. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday they wrap up. That's how long we lived like that. Laura had a toaster and upstairs in her bedroom. We washing dishes in the damn kitchen sink. Washing dishes in the bathroom sink. The coffee pots were on a nightstand, and the microwave was on a table next to my damn recliner. Anyway, and do I sound like I'm bitching and whining? I'm just saying it's been a hell of a week, to say the least. So anyway, not to mention when we sat down with the contractor, and I said, listen, because local, I said, I'm concerned about your success. And I shared with her an article. I said, you realize that when you spray oil-based primers in a completely enclosed area, you're creating a bomb. It's flammable. And I told her, I said, you don't want to do what I have done, but you can Google houses have exploded from painting inside. I said, yeah. So not only was it unhealthy, it was an extreme fire and explosive hazard. So anyway, all right, enough of that. So the kitchen remodeling is, I guess, done somewhat. So then me and Laura did a whole bunch of painting, and we didn't have them do to paint the kitchen. We painted the kitchen. So, and I bought a gallon. Get this, y'all. I bought a gallon of Sherwin-Williams Duration paint. I'm going to Google it while we're talking. I'm going to bring this up right here. Sherwin-Williams Duration paint. Duration Home Interior Acrylic Latex Paint. Now available. There it is. I'm looking at Sherwin-Williams' website. Now available. Duration is a self-priming. That's an exterior acrylic. Now available. Satin, blah, 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 blah. Maybe I didn't get the good deal, because here it is right here. Well, maybe because I did something different, but here it is. Duration Home Interior Paint, acrylic latex. We got the kind that's good for washing. You can just wash it and stuff. Y'all, I'm not making this up. Let me look right at the camera when I say this. First of all, just go ahead and guess what this cost for a gallon. $97. $97 for a gallon of interior acrylic latex paint. Where's my damn calculator? So with tax and everything, $97. Well, if you divide that by 4, right off the bat, that's $24.25 for a quart. A quart. Shit, man. I cried when I washed the damn paintbrush out, looking at the paint that was coming off of it. Anyway. All right, enough bitching. I pulled this out of my pocket, and I said, I pulled this out of my pocket. This is my, I don't know if you can see that or not. That's my name tag, Jerry Daniels, Eptera Drone Imaging. So Eptera Drone Imaging is the name of our company. And I went to a breakfast, and I still had this in my pocket. I forgot that was in my pocket. Anyway, neither here or there. Okay, the chickens are doing good. And I'm sorry again for being late. Shout out to Mike Posey and Joe Stitka. Even Brett Owen. Brett Owen called me yesterday. I'm squirreling. But Brett Owen called me yesterday. He said, JD, I'm driving to South Katkalaka, and he goes, where's your podcast? I said, man, I ain't got to it yet, Brett. I said, I've been so busy. And I told him the whole story about the damn contractors. And he's another occupational safety health guy, so he appreciated and definitely understood what I was talking about. All right, so I'm under a crunch. I've said last week, talking about, I got a hard stop. I got a lot to do, and it's already early in the morning, but I got to get going. Excuse me. Chickens are doing good. Last week, I actually had a first time ever of all 12 chickens laid an egg that day. So I usually get average 9 or 10 a day. And I know a chicken's supposed to lay an egg every 24 to 26 hours. Well, that's supposed to be. I don't know. But so the other day I had 12. So yesterday I got 9. Day before that I got 7. That's because I screwed up and forgot to feed them in the morning, and then realized that around 1 or 2 o'clock I said, "Oh crap! I didn't put their feeder down and open it up." So they was pissed at me. But they're doing good. I told you all about Doris, my barred rock hen. She is now in the mix. So the flock has finally accepted her, and she's had to just fight her ass. She's been fighting for months, and now she's a member of the gang. And for the most part, they get along. There's still the pecking order thing, and somebody will get pissed off and and they'll jump on the other one, and it's funny. But anyway, they're all good. And Doris is in. That's the good news. Doris is in the mix. She's in the flock. Excuse me. So, all right. Hey, the Georgia Marble Festival kicks off today. Today is the 4th of October. So if anybody listens to this and goes, "Well, I ain't got nothing to do," the weather is going to be actually favorable. It's not going to be bright and sunny, but it's going to be nice weather. I mean, the high today is going to be 75, and it's going to be mostly cloudy, but it's going to be 75. And then tomorrow is going to be pretty much the same thing. The high is going to be 74. It may be a little cloudy and overcast, but it's going to be a pretty day. So if y'all ain't got nothing to do and you want to come up here and do the Marble Festival, then come on. And y'all are welcome to stop by the house if you want. I sell eggs. All right. Couple things, and Joe Stitka gave me some advice. Let me pull it up on my phone. I think he sent it to me either in Messenger or and I may have deleted it. I clean my stuff out all the time. No, here we go right here. Yeah, he gave me a couple of things, podcast material. And one of the things I'm going to do, because Joe suggested it, is I'm going to talk about this damn woman. First of all, it's been a hell of a week. And a hell of a last couple of weeks. You can't make the stuff up. And what we are discovering and seeing is the depth of the corruption and the depth of this woke socialist ideologies that has infected so many cities across this nation. I mean, we learned that a school superintendent, where in frickin' where was it? Iowa, in Des Moines, Iowa. Excuse me. These people, and the woman that was in charge of hiring the sumbitch used to be she's a socialist. She used to be like the the lead person working for Michelle Obama or some bullshit. Woke. And they're socialists. But the Des Moines, Iowa school, the largest school district, hires this guy, a superintendent, and get this. This is here. I'm just going to read it to you. This is the breaking news. But the ICE arrest this guy, ICE agents, Immigration Customs, and his name is Dr. You believe that shit? Dr. Ian Andre Roberts. The guy's a damn illegal alien from Guyana. And he's a fugitive. And they arrested him. And they have just found out as of today. They found out more stuff about this guy. And he got pulled over, but then he runs and he speeds off, abandons his car, and then he runs away from his car. They find him hiding in the bushes with a canine dog unit. He had a illegal loaded handgun. He had a Glock handgun. He ain't got business having no damn gun. He ain't got no business being here. But he had a loaded pistol, a big hunting knife, $3,000 in cash. Y'all just think about that for a minute. Wonder where he was going, what he was doing. He had first entered the U.S. in 1999 on an F-1 student visa and was ordered to be removed he was ordered to be removed back in 2024. Can't make this up, man. Can't make this up. He was also arrested in 2020 on a weapons charge. Why is he still here? The guy was making $307,000 a year. Yeah, illegal immigration. It's a victimless crime. The hell it is. Y'all believe that shit? In Des Moines, Iowa, a school superintendent, and now they just learned today he's got a history of drug charges, comes here as a student, overstays his visa and all that shit. He's a frickin' criminal. Not undocumented liberals. If y'all listen to this, he's a criminal. And I'd like to know they're going to find out more about this. But the guy is a $307,000 annual salary school superintendent hired by one of the Obama plants. And they catch him with a loaded pistol, a big old hunting knife, $3,000 cash, and he runs. It's real simple. My daddy used to say that. If you run from the law, you up to something. You're running not to get caught. So this is the new Maryland dad. So the liberals have all circled the wagons, and they're all wringing their hands, and they're all crying. Oh, he's an undocumented daddy or some shit. I don't know. Don't care. But you can't make this shit up, man. So, yeah, we're finding out more. And then there was the U.S. American citizen in Dearborn, Michigan, that goes to the city council meeting, and he has the right, the constitutional right, as a law-abiding citizen, to go and what they do, grievance and redress. They're wanting to rename a street in Dearborn, Michigan after some dude who's a freaking Hamas terrorist. Or Hezbollah, I'm sorry. He's a Hezbollah terrorist. But we know about Dearborn, Michigan, because they've let all the freaking Muslims in there. And I know YouTube's going to go, you can't talk like that. Yes, I can, because 99% of the Muslims are Islam. Islam is a cult that is not, it can't coexist in America. It can't. It never has. It never will. Islam has never, ever, ever coexisted with any other culture ever. Ever. Read your history. I'm not making it up, but it never has, and it never will. Islam is in direct conflict with the principles of the U.S. Constitution. So why would we let Muslims get into positions of politics in America? The Constitution was written for a moral Christian-based nation, a people, morally guided Christians. That's what it was written for. So, but anyway, so this citizen goes to his city council meeting, and the mayor, whatever his freaking name is, basically, I couldn't have held back. He chews this guy's ass, calls him a xenophobe, Islamophobe, or some other shit. And the mayor chews his ass and says, quote, "You're not welcome here. And then when the day that you leave, I will arrange and celebrate a parade to joyfully celebrate you're out of our damn city," or some shit like that. Y'all, you can't make this up. Shame on the people in Michigan. Shame on you. Shame on the people in Dearborn. Y'all need to stand up and take your freaking city back from these people, because you're going to, anyway. You don't look, all you got to look to the east. Look what's happening in Britain, France, Spain, Italy, Germany, Belgium. I'm telling you, the handwriting is on the wall, and it's not written in English. It's written in Arabic. So that being said, we got a new candidate running for the Georgia, on the Democrat side. Let me see. Her name is Ruwan Roman. She launches her campaign for governor of Georgia. She's a Muslim. Yep. Yep, she's a Muslim. So I would highly encourage you to look at, and I posted it on my Facebook page, but look at a Facebook post that I shared, and it comes from Stella Inger Escobedo, I think is her name. But she lays it out. It talks about this woman who's tossed in her damn, whatever you call that thing on her head, in the race for governor of Georgia. And her name is Ruwan Roman. She wants to be the next governor in Georgia. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we get it. I would encourage y'all to watch the video that I posted on my Facebook page. I'm telling y'all right now, she just follow the money. This woman, who somehow is in any position, she's elected for something, but she ain't nothing but a mouthpiece for the Muslim party. It's a cult. But Muslim is not necessarily a religion. Muslim is a culture. Islam is a religion. And it's a cult, and I can say this. This is my damn page. I can do whatever I want. I'm just telling you what I believe, and I believe it to be the truth. Islam is a cult, and again, Islam has never coexisted with any other religion, any other culture than its own, and even then, they fight and kill each other like wild animals. So, any religion, any culture that says you can't do so and so and so and so. You can't eat pork. Well, if you don't want to eat pork, that's fine, but you don't have to turn it into a religion. If you don't want to work on Sundays, that's fine, but you ain't got to turn that into a religion. If you want to wear dresses all the time, that's fine. But you can't chastise and tell other people you can't do that, or wear a beard, or cut your hair, or whether you're circumcised or not. Who knows? Those are all called doctrinal elements of religions. And I took a class in college called World Religions, and I learned a lot. I'm not saying it was all true. Some of it's you got to sort through all the liberal bullshit when you go to school. But all religions have what they call is doctrinal doctrinal elements. So that's what it's got. So. But yeah, this woman, she wants to run as governor, and I'm going to tell you what she is. She's just a litmus test. They're just testing the waters. That's it. Because Stacey Abrams out. Her ass is in so much trouble with squandering that $2 billion that she got from the Biden administration and how she used it in the southwestern part of the state. Her ass is in trouble. She don't even realize it yet, but she's going to be investigated big time. Just like fat ass Fannie Willis, she's in trouble too. So good. They're criminals. So Stacey Abrams is a criminal, period, bar none. She's a criminal. So, and she's a con artist. So, and the conservatives in the state of Georgia are on tour, and skin color be damned. It ain't about race. It's about ethics. It's about morality. So, got nothing to do with skin color. Who cares? I don't care. But I do care about criminals being in a position of leadership. They got no place. So criminals are criminals. They do what criminals do. That's what Stacey Abrams is. Anyway, yeah, all that stuff's coming out. So, and that's a good thing. So they're doing a lip test. That's what they're using this woman for, Ruan Roman or whatever her name is. But this girl, Stella Escobedo, has got a Facebook page, and I shared it on mine. I encourage you to go look at it and watch, because this woman in Georgia who's getting money from all these different organizations, and y'all, I know this is not a shocker. No, I shouldn't say direct. Indirect. It's indirect because they try to hide it. But you always follow the money. It's got multiple ties to multiple organizations that are tied directly to Hamas. The Free Palestine crap. Yeah, it's all a con. So anyway, that's all I got, y'all. I cannot believe. And I want to say thank you, President Trump, and your cabinet and everything you guys are doing. This is exactly why we elected you as President of the United States. Exactly. And I want to say something else. I'm squirreling. There's a man named Bobby Charles up in the state of Maine. He's running for governor of Maine. Bobby Charles, I love you, brother. You got to win. You got to win to save the state of Maine. So it's like the Alamo. Y'all got to win, man. If you're not, you're gonna be like Michigan, Wisconsin, Portland, and the list goes on. State of Maine's in trouble. Y'all got to get these freaking woke socialists, liberals, and y'all got a lot of damn Somalis up there. And it again, it's a direct clash, and it cannot coexist with a Christian moral based principled nation. It can't. Never has, never will. I'm not Islamophobe. I'm not scared. I'm just stating the facts. I mean, let me ask y'all this, or let me ask myself this: is y'all reckon it would be acceptable? Let's just say if 500 Christians got together, were well funded, and moved to Uganda, any Arab nation other than Israel, go to Saudi Arabia, go to Iraq, Iran, Libya, Syria, move right in there with the in the Gaza area, with the Palestinians, Lebanon. You know, it doesn't matter, man. Go to some of these countries and just say, hey, we're here to exercise freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and we're going to build some churches. We're going to ring the church bells, and we're going to go from there. How you think that'll fly? Those people will be brutally executed in less than a week. So I don't understand why we get lectured with, well, y'all are not kind. You're not understanding. You're supposed to be tolerant. No, I'm tolerant of those who are tolerable. I'm not tolerable. I'm not tolerant of those who are intolerant. How's that? So, all right. That's all I got. Hope y'all are better at hiring contractors than I am, because I suck at it. Joe Stetka, thank you. Joe's recovering fine. I did get a phone call from Mike Posey this week, but I was busy because I was at a chamber breakfast and I wasn't able to return his call. And I want to end with talking about corruption and unethical behavior. But evidently, damn Butler, Georgia, and Taylor County has got some problems in their police force and in their house, in their city group. I don't know. I don't know all the facts, so I damn sure ain't gonna start spouting my mouth about it. But Stuart O'Hearn keeps me informed, and I guess more to follow on that. Who knows? But God bless y'all, man. It's a great nation. I'm optimistic. God is awesome. God is great. I can just say that I'm humbled, and I love the Lord. So y'all have a great day. Let me get over here so I can click when you do this stuff, and I'm sure people are a lot better than this than I am, but when you do this stuff, you got to make sure that the mouse is over here and you get ready over here, and I'm looking over there, and then I can just click on the mouse and say, bicycle or whatever. But I'm blessed. That's all I know what to say, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Y'all have a great day and be safe. Bicycle.